Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marcello Currents reign back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day. All right, so this message is going to be about Officer Shaderick Jones down in Iberville, Louisiana. I've been talking about this for about a year now, and I get new subscribers that, most people I do it, but some people may not go through videos. They just listen to what's currently going on, or they feel like they're staying more relevant doing in that way, even spiritually speaking. But so sometimes I go back over certain key dynamics in my messages and certain key uh, news. So that being said, this is something that I've already reported before, but I feel it's necessary because it's key news to me, and it's a milestone basically in how I perceive the country and the leadership and the police, and so I find it very vital to continue to make this part of the campaign that I'm pushing through these videos. So, like I said, this video is about Shaderick Jones, an African American police officer down in Iberville, Louisiana. So, so basically, this officer went to this woman, African American woman's house, and he made her perform a sex act on her 1 year old child. Now, another reason for me to doing these videos again over and over, because I am just spiritually progressive, so I will get different ways to approach it just from me spiritually growing. And what's different about this video from the other one is what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking about right now that's differently than the other video is, how come the American community hasn't put this in the book of your legends, evil legends? You got yeah. You got all these people that you hold in these as evil legends or righteous legends. And this man, Shaderick Jones, asked this woman to perform a sex act on a 1 year old child. That's a one. That's a one. One digit, and it's one for his age. He was an infant, 1 year old, and police officer asked this woman to perform a sex act on her child. You know how long ago this was? This was less than 3 years. This was 3-something years ago. Just in case you're thinking this is a terribly long time ago. Just in case you think this is 30 years ago. And here's my thing, did we hear anything from all these child lovers, and we are superheroes for children, and we're protecting the children, we're vigilantes for children? We didn't hear nothing from you, did we? That's why I don't take you seriously. That's why I don't take none of you seriously. Because when it comes to the real news and the real facts, you're MIA. That's what you are. So I'm going to read the article about Mr. Shaderick, police officer Shaderick Jones, filthy police officer down in Iberville, Louisiana. So here's the article. I'm reading it word for word. It's pretty short. So, all right. According to police, Jones was Jones, that's Shaderick Jones, Officer Shaderick Jones, who was 42 years old at the time. He's now 45. According to police, Jones, who was off duty, went to the home of Aisha Todd on Thursday and forced her to perform and performs oral sex on her 1-year-old son under the threat of arrest on a warrant for a traffic violation. Jones was still in uniform as his shift had only ended 30 minutes prior. Todd said she was afraid, that's the mother. Todd said she was afraid of going to jail, and the authorities described Jones' apparent motivation. Mr. Jones coerced her to perform the act on the child. He said that was his fantasy. St. Gabriel Police Chief Kevin Ambeau said, for someone to have that type of fantasy, he's a sick individual. Todd, that's the mother, Aisha Todd, was also arrested and charged with first-degree rape, incest, and failure to appear. She could face life in prison if she is convicted of the first-degree rape charge. Her son is now in the care of the grandmother. Now you see that there? Now that's for all you famous people, all you everybody, all you Americans, right? Why you still sitting around eating chicken talking about what R. Kelly did? Huh? Why you still at brunch talking about Michael Jackson situations? Hungover from the night before at brunch talking about what Michael might have did and didn't do and all of that. Here's a case of a man, a police officer. A police officer serving your community in Iberville, Louisiana. Less than 10 years ago, he did this crime, and you didn't even check to see if he even, you know what I noticed in the article? It said nothing about too much about what's going to happen to this officer, Shaderick Jones. He asked the woman to do it, so I guess I'm not sure what kind of charge that's going to be, or was, or has been. But ain't talk about him getting life in prison, did it? See, you have to realize, America. I mean, I don't know what else it's going to take. You have to realize the enemy has been who you have esteemed as the ally, as the friend, as the protector, as the officers, the teachers, all of that. This has been the enemy. The leadership, in other words. Look at all these teachers that's now coming out and doing all this stuff. Yeah, the ones that you see at the PTA meetings. Them. The ones that's at the PTA meetings, buddy. Yeah, that's the ones that's messing with the children. Not the wayward guy that that's an introvert, that's a hermit, reclusive in his apartment. Not him. The teacher. The one that presents herself as an outrovert. Drawing rainbows. Drawing rainbows on posters. Yeah, that's the one that's messing with your children. I have to do it and say it like this because you act like you're not informed of this. You know, you're still trying to pick people up off the streets when it's actually the officers, the leadership of your country. So there's been a shift in who's doing this stuff. There's been a pivotal turn in who's doing this stuff. And you act like you're still oblivious to this as the American community. You're still oblivious to it. You act like you are. And listen, the bottom line is your community is not speaking out against it. And that's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with you sitting up looking at everybody else for what they're doing. But you know what? You're not looking at the ones who are doing this stuff And that's what problem I have with you. Like, I'm going to do a video on these teachers out here, because it's these, you know what I noticed? The trend that's happening lately, it's the female teachers. Because I told you your most famous pedophile in America is a female. Oh, I know. You thought it was the dirty old men. But you see how it all balances out in your country? Oh, yeah. It's not just the men in America. It's the women. And like I said, your most famous pedophile in American history is a female teacher. That's pretty bad. You would think a female teacher would be caring for the children, pure, motherly. Comes out she's the most famous pedophile in America. That part. And so, and so, and so I stand alone, man. You know why I stand alone? Because ain't nobody else saying nothing. If you ain't saying nothing, how you with me? Let's get that understood. You're not with me when you're saying nothing. We're not squad. We're not team. My team speaks up. If you got the revolution in your hands, you know the difference between a war and a revolution? When you have a revolution, you gotta talk. You ain't listen, this ain't a war, this a revolution. Listen, who's gonna fight me? I'm the guy telling you 44 states got child marriage. Oh yeah, you didn't realize it, did you? I got the revolution. You think this a war, and that's why you ain't saying nothing. You're so silly. You didn't even know the revolution. You don't even know when you have information to start a revolution. Let me do a video on that too. You don't even know when you have information to start a revolution. Who's gonna withstand me when I'm telling you about 44 states for child marriage? Huh? Who's gonna withstand me? I don't have to go to war. Do you see me picking up a gun? Do you see? Look how they swarming around, like as if I got a tank in here, don't I? Like as if I got weapons of mass destruction. You know why? Because I got the revolution. That's why. Yeah, the revolution this time is listen, it can be with bloodshed. It can be if that's what they want to do. But I don't have to do it that way. I got enough information right now, right here, right now, that ends all of your community. 44 states with child marriage, ain't nobody trying to hear nothing else. Anybody trying to hear something else? Anybody trying to hear something else from these lawmakers? I don't care what you do and how you do it. It's no way around it. Your whole culture and community has been deceived, me included, to believe that you was a country that would never even think about being with any type of children at all. And if you think this is only these old children, because a lot of you say, well, you done checked it out a little bit. Well, it ain't nothing but the 16, 17. Okay, I'm going to shut you down. Check out the last child marriage law, July 1st, 2019. That wasn't just 16 to 17. The last child marriage law did not specify the ages of 16 and 17 or 15 for its law for children interacting with adults. The age was no minimum age, which means any age of children. The law that they passed July 1st, 2019, this new law, listen good. The new law has no age in it. It says, meaning any age of children. People can marry any age of children. This is how evil they have become. Any age, bro. What part of that you don't understand, man? July 1st, 2019. The age of, it says no minimum age. They can marry the children at any age, and they say considering certain things. But the point is, they've already put they made no age group. They just said any age. What that tells you, any age of children, you idiots. That busts the whole bubble of that old child kind of mentality that you got going on. And you know what that means? I have the revolution. That's all we need to know. You made the last law that says no minimum age, any age of child. That's the revolution, buddy. See, I had to do it like this because if I said this in the beginning, you wouldn't have took me seriously. I had to go through a lot. I had to do a lot. And now you take me seriously. Now you see what's happening to the enemy. Now you take me seriously. Now I can tell you I got the revolution, and now you believe it. Because it all now makes sense. That's a 7 hour. It makes sense, don't it now? Yeah, because I had the revolution the whole time. This is what I was born to do while you thought I was lazy. Well, if I was born to be against you, why would I be with you? Yeah, some people are born literally against you. They're born to put you down, buddy. They're born to put you down in the graveyard. And hey, faith is faith. Sometimes faith is faith, isn't it? So, Shaderick Jones, Officer Shaderick Jones, the police officer, now that did this. Now, the woman, it said she had a warrant. He came to her house after he was off his shift. So he was already tripping. Already. He was off duty. Why is he doing police work off duty? Maybe they do, I don't know. But the article says he was off duty. Going to her house, right? He had just got off 30 minutes before he came to her house. And she gave her son oral sex. Oral sex, man, at 1 year old. Can you imagine when that child grows up? That's the darkest secret of his life. You think his family gonna tell him what happened? That his mother gave him oral sex when he was 1 year old, unable to even think or see, right? And that's why she's in jail. And guess who did it? A police officer made her do it. That's the worst story. Imagine you grow up and find that out. That your mom gave you oral sex when you was 1 year old, when you couldn't even see the world. You couldn't even think to the world. Right? She gave you oral sex and a police officer put her under pressure to do it. Imagine imagine that history. Imagine that story being yours. Now that's crazy. That's crazy. Bro, that's crazy. And still, guess what? You ain't gonna say nothing about it. You ain't gonna do nothing about it, man. You know what I'm saying? And you the same community, man, that be sitting around talking about everything, man. That's another reason. That's my other motivation, man, for standing this game, man, because of doing this. Because, man, or this war, you know, I don't want to even really say a game, you know what I mean? I was just using an informal term for it, but you know, man, it's like I stay in this, man, because there's so many people yapping all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? They always talking about something going on. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm pulling up the facts. I mean, you know, how I feel, man, you know, People that's 100, all of them can't be doing the same thing. Like, in the streets and all of that foolishness. Now you got somebody that's 100 that's with God, man. It had to happen. And not only with God, God comes first. Don't get that wrong. He's 100 about these politics and all this stuff going on with these police and all of this. He's 100 about what these people doing out here with these children. And because everybody, while everybody else is hollering this and that, they got their picks. Well, if they don't got their picks, explain why these famous people just now coming up. You just now finding out what they doing. Explain that to me. And see, I got the revolution. I got the information, man, to make you want to stop it all. That's why it's a revolution. It's one thing to talk about black issues, which I do that. It's one thing to talk about white issues, and I do that too. It's one thing to talk about American issues, and I also do that. But it's another thing to talk about children issues. That stops you like, hold up. Okay, I understand about these black issues. That's been going on for a while. I understand about these white issues. Yeah. We definitely know that's been going on. And we know some American stuff has been going on for a while too. Yeah. Well, I'm that's an understatement. It's been going on basically since the beginning of this American stuff. But children stuff, it's shocking to people. My information is very shocking to people because we all was under the assumption that we had these American issues, these racial issues, but we didn't have children issues. Not really. Okay, we had issues that went on in the community, but we didn't have issues that went on from the government. That's what I'm telling you. Now you see the difference. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the difference. Then with my warfare as opposed to somebody else's warfare. My warfare is not touching on, I touch on those issues that everybody touch on in my own way that God gives me. But my warfare is about these children because you don't think that we all didn't think this went on. We all was not aware of this. And that means to me, there's nothing left that America has not done. They've done everything. And now you know this. So that's the revolution. What else? The revolution is when they've done everything. Hey, what else are you waiting for? What else are you waiting for? They've killed, they've raped, they've done everything. And now we find out that they're passing laws for your children. Bro, please, man. Stop trying to recover this country. Stop. Let this animal die, bro. And let the man of God live. You know what I'm saying? You trying to keep this alive, and look what it is. I mean, you can't even say China is doing this. You can't even say Russia is doing this. You ain't even just hear me, did you? You can't even say China is doing this. China is not marrying children, bro. I checked it out. Go look. There is no form of it. Let me put it like that. There is no form of it, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. So if the Chinese has this perspective, why, I'm sure it came up as an issue. Why America doing it then? So I'm an enemy because I'm pointing out the obvious? It shows where your maturity level is. Because I'm pointing out the obvious. At the end of the day, Russia, they don't have this problem. Huh? Russia does not have a problem with child marriage. There is no child marriage. While you're talking about the age of consent, while you got that crowd that's talking about, well, you know what Russia's doing. I went online And that's what people, like a year ago or something, a year ago, and some people was online were talking about, well, your beloved Russia, you know what they're doing? They have the age of consent at 16. Okay, but they're not marrying children though. That's the difference. So see, when you're uneducated, you sound ignorant. Well, yeah, that's what happens in the process. That's what happens in the process of being ignorant. You know, when you're talking and you're out, and you don't know everything, you don't know what you need to know, you sound ignorant. Russia does not have child marriage where a child is with an adult 24/7 having sex. That's what it is. It ain't no romance. It's a child and an adult having sex 24/7. Well, if he laying up in the bed, that's a form of sex. That's a form of get off. If you laying up in the bed with a child butt naked man, that's a form of get off. The whole get off is 24/7, man. 24/7. Everything. They taking showers. Everything is a get off, bro. You don't get it? The whole thing, bro. It's a 24/7 get off for a pedophile. And you might be laughing right now, I have a natural sense of humor, and I don't have a problem with you laughing, but at the same time, I want you to take it seriously because it really is a 24/7 get off, bro. I mean, think about it. He get up, he laying there with the child. He's in paradise. He doesn't have to go out there and hunt no child or nothing, right? And the government letting him do it. So it ain't no authorities coming. He ain't got to worry about none of that. He totally cool. He getting off on that right there already. That's a 7. And then he could do whatever he want to do. Go reach over and do whatever he want to do. He getting off, man, all day, bro. Take a shower, he getting off on that. Fact that he eating with the child, just the atmosphere, he's getting off on that, man. Watching TV with the child, playing and doing all kind of stuff. He's getting off all the time, bruh. You don't see that? Middle of the daytime, what you think you're doing? Butt naked, getting off, man. Man, bruh. You need to see the reality so you understand, because you act like it's stick figures situation. Well, the child goes home. You got like stick figure pictures of it in your mind. The child goes home with the man, and it's a stick figure situation. So I got to show you the 3D situation. That's a 7. I got to show you the 3D situation where they butt naked at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, watching TV, he doing whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's getting off all the time. Oh, and if you don't think it's real, I got videos on real cases. You can look that up too. There was 3 10-year-old girls in Tennessee that were married back in 2006 with this child marriage. 3 10-year-old girls, 3 separate situations, so you don't get it mixed up with, I don't know how that happens, but they was 10 years old, man, when they got married. For people that don't understand anatomy, their wombs can be destroyed because it's still a growing womb. Their insides, their vagina walls can be destroyed because it's a growing womb, right? It's still growing and a man is tearing it apart. It's not even a fully grown womb, man. And for that reason, bro, it's a revolution, man. It's a revolution why you playing games with me. And that's why God is on your head, bruh. You think he playing with you about me? And you ain't saying nothing, and you don't even know these situations. That's a 7. Three 10-year-old girls got married down in Tennessee. Nobody never knew about it. Just in case you think, well, who's doing it? Well, let's see some real facts about it. Let's see some real cases. That's some real cases right there. And you can look up real cases. You can be proactive about it yourself and look up real child marriage cases in America. How hard is that for you to do? Oh, you want me to do all the work? Why can't you do that? So Officer Shaderick Jones down in Iberville, Louisiana. We don't even know if he got arrested. I don't even know if the woman got life in prison. They say she got if she get a first degree rape incest charge, she will be she could face life in prison. I'm pretty sure she got the book thrown at her. I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna check and see. I'm gonna do another video if there's a follow up with the sentencing and what happened with Officer Shaderick Jones. You know, he it didn't even say what's gonna happen to him or what could happen to him really. But what make it so bad? This is a black man. A black man. He could have. He seen that was a black woman and made her perform a sex act on her child, man. And this is a police officer who done all kind of police training concerning protecting children and all of that, right? And he's still, and how could he override all his training? That's what tripped me out. You know, they got all kind of training, like, show you interacting with the children, how to protect them in the hostage situation, that kind of stuff, right? You got all that kind of training with interacting with the environments and protecting children and all of that training, right? And you override all of that in your mind now. All that you built up to be. And you ask a woman to perform a sex act on a baby, a 1-year-old child, man. A 1-year-old child. I can't see none of it. But if children are out of diapers, they start playing around with each other. It's not good, right? But that's what children do. As soon as they get out of diapers, and they start playing around with each other. It happens. They play around with themselves, they play around with each other. And I'm not saying it's good, but it happens in real life, right? It is real life, unfortunately. But an adult should never be interacting with children that way, because if you're a normal adult, a light bulb is going to go off in your head and you're going to know that you're an adult. It happened to me. It happened to it might happen to most people. So you may say, well, what's your motivation? My motivation it's the revolution. Hey, listen, I've showed you every aspect of every angle of your community. Why do it needs to be here anymore? You need to change total leadership, total everything. Why they still passing laws to make like they still there? They ain't there no more. Because the revolution has already started. It's already too late. It's already too late. You can try to do whatever you want for gay people and all of that and all this other stuff you're trying to do. It still doesn't. Listen, you can have first woman this, first female that. No one cares anymore. Okay? You got 44 states with child marriage. Meanwhile, you passing out gay laws. Who cares about that? Who cares? Who cares? All you're trying to do is re-recruit them to your cause and re-recruit them to your government. That's all you're trying to do. Same thing with the first lady stuff and all of that. All you're trying to do is re-recruit people to your government, to influence them. Ain't nobody stupid. Meanwhile, you still have 44 states with child marriage. That's what we talk about. That's what infuriates me even more, because while you're doing all of this, you still it makes it more clear to me you are not using your power to do, or you're not using your power to do anything about this stuff. Vice President Kamala Harris up there swearing in this new mayor for Los Angeles. Okay, but meanwhile, you still like you ain't like you ain't you don't understand that your government has 44 states with child marriage. You are not articulating anything about it. You can't articulate something about it. That's what we're asking. That's what I'm asking. Can you talk about it? You're not a mute, right? You're not a political mute. So if you're not a political mute or a law mute, a legal mute, if you're not a legal, we know you're not a legal mute because you used to be a prosecutor. So we know you're not a legal mute, right? You know you know stuff about these laws, which literally makes you not a legal mute. So if you're not a legal mute, why can't you talk about it? Huh? Huh? You used to be a prosecutor, and you've said this yourself. I heard you say it at your own mouth. You said you prosecuted child assault cases, from child assault cases to homicide cases. This is what you said during the vice presidential debate with Mike Pence. Everybody, you can go back and look at it. She said she said out of her own mouth, specifically, that she prosecuted concerning child assault to homicide. She prosecuted concerning child assault, child sexual assault. She said she prosecuted from child sexual assault to homicide. She said it out of her own mouth. I can't make this up, bro. So if you you wasn't a legal mute there, was you? So why all of a sudden now you're a legal mute and you at one of the highest positions in the country? You got the most highest power in the country, and all of a sudden you're a legal mute now. It makes you think they're protecting people or the powers that be. That's what I'm starting to conclude. That this is not about children. This is about protecting their image and their government. So they really are not about protecting your children, nor are they about integrity and character. They're more about protecting the image of the government. And listen, I'm gonna show you a cheat code. You know how you got games, video games? I'm gonna show you a good cheat code. If you want to know a good cheat code, go check, go look at these president and vice president debates. Go look at those debates and you'll find out all the information you want to find out on these politicians. Because while they're trying to get their position, they throw them under the bus all the way. They take all their history, everything. They tell you everything you want to know. If you want to know anything about these particular politicians, go watch the debates that they're having. Go watch the debates that they're having, and you will find out all the information you want to know. Joe Biden, yeah, I want to know how he would respond to 44 states with child marriage. I want to know. I want to know how he'll respond to it. Let's just picture me asking him that question. So Joe Biden, how you feel about America having 44 states with child marriage? Well, culture was in culture was different back, in the times when these laws were passed, and we're more progressive these days, and we're getting around to doing things like that and changing things like that. And, we're all about moving forward. And, some things does not show the character of our country. Oh, really? So why did the last child marriage law get passed 3 years ago? July 1st, 2019. Explain to me why the last child marriage law got passed 3 years ago, if these laws does not presently reflect the character of your community and your government. Well, that's something that is not in my hands. Yeah, but I'm not asking if it's in your hands. In fact, while you have power, you should be able to articulate your disgust with these laws, and you have not showed any disgust concerning these laws. Now, have you? So you're nonchalant about it, some would say. Some would say you're absolutely nonchalant about it, which means your silence is given a form of consent. Now, that's how I would respond to it. That's why this is the revolution. They can't take straight shot questions. They can't take straight shot questions. Do you also notice that during all of these presidential debates, they don't talk about any child marriage laws or child sex laws? You ever notice that? They talk about military and all of these teachers and education and everything else. But you never hear during these debates, you never hear during these debates anything about child sex laws, child marriage laws. You don't hear anything about it, do you? Like as if it's all good. Like that part is good. A pedophile would think that. See what you got yourself into. This is what the American community got itself into. It ain't my fault, buddy. You buried yourself on that one. You buried yourself on it, man. Ain't nobody, like, look, who you mad at, me or yourself? That's what I always say. Who you mad at, me or your country? Hey, at the end of the day, who you mad at, me or yourself, buddy? I'm speaking the facts over here. Who you mad at, me or them? So in your case, what I call it? It's misdirected anger. Yeah, you angry, but you angry at the wrong person because you're too stupid to see who you need to be angry at. It's the truth. I can't make this up. Yeah, I'm a convenient punching bag, but you won't dare punch on the powers that be that cause these laws to be. They cause these laws to be. But you won't punch on them now, will you? They made 44 states with child marriage, and you looking at me. I'm looking at you. I guess we looking at each other, huh? Because I'm looking at you wondering how you got the audacity to run around playing with me when they got 44 states with child marriage. Huh? You know what people call that in the South? Putting the cart before the horse. Even if I had done something that was criminal in nature, it's a drop in the bucket to 44 states with child marriage. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's kind of obvious. You got, one crime versus a whole government with 44 states with child marriage. It's not even hard. It's a no-brainer. This situation is a no-brainer. So what it means to me, you have no brain. Well, if it's a no-brainer and you don't have to use your brain, but you still tripping, that means you lack a brain, bruh. If it's a no-brainer, but you're still tripping, then that means you lack IQ. What else is it? In the South, we say that's putting the cart before the horse, which means the cart is in front of the horse. So how can anything happen? How you gonna put the cart in front of the horse, bro? Oh, the cart's supposed to drag the horse? It's impossible. It's literally impossible. That's what's funny about that case. It's also an impossible situation. Yeah, it is. It is. For you to get rid of pedophilia when you got 44 states with child marriage, but you out here playing around with a single pedophile or someone you think is one. It's an impossible situation for you to get it out of your community. Well, hey, that's still there. And it ain't going nowhere. Just like a cart in front of a horse won't go nowhere. Yeah, see what you done got yourself into? See, God knows what he's doing. He works in mysterious ways. Because he knew exactly what kind of personality I am. Even as a Christian, he knows what kind of personality I am. Not lifting myself up, but I'm not the type of guy to let you sit up in my face and do something. And you know what I'm saying? And I know it's wrong that what you're doing. I know it's hypocritical what you're doing. I am not finna let you sit up and play. It stinks, and I'm not finna sit up and let you do it. And he knows my personality enough to know I don't care what color you are. I don't care. I don't care about rejection from black people, rejection from Americans. I don't care. It doesn't. Listen, do you see me depressed? You see me losing any sleep? I'm doing quite fine. I'm doing very good. I'm doing better. I don't even need any vices. If I was stressing, I would be having all kind of multiple vices, wouldn't I? You don't see me drinking. You don't see me smoking. So how am I weak? I'm stronger than ever. You can know because ain't nothing you can do about it. I don't have to use military tactics of hiding information. You can know everything that's going on and ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm stronger than ever, better than ever, and everything. You don't see me drink. You don't see me out here drinking all the time. You don't see me out here smoking. You don't see me doing none of that. That means I'm not even stressing. That's what it means. Why you out here smoking a pack of cigarettes a day? You know why you smoking a pack of cigarettes a day? Because you stressing. Yeah. You know why you drinking every weekend? Cause it ain't no tomorrow? Because you stressing. I'm good. Let's get that understood. Yeah. I mean, and so that's why I'm saying, like, my thing is, all these people they respect, man, they ain't telling you nothing. So I got to dethrone that too. I can't care about the Kanye West of the world and all those people that try to keep doing stuff to make themselves relevant. I guess that's what he's doing. I don't know. Maybe he's not. I don't know. You tell me. It seems like he's doing this stuff to stay relevant. I didn't feel this way at first, but now I'm starting to feel that way. I'm starting to feel that Kanye is like keep saying stuff about stuff and playing around this Donald Trump situation to stay relevant, bro. Cause if you just remove all of that, I mean, who really cares? He knows who's going to care about him? I mean, think about it, bro. All the stuff he has said has put him on the wrong side of logic, right? So who's going to care about him when he's on the wrong side of logic in most people's minds? So he has to keep doing this stuff to stay relevant. That's how I see it. That's how I see it, bro. And he say he a Christian. How? How, bro? I'm gonna be 100 with you. Listen, man, the streets is 100. Hey, why can't we be 100 as Christians? Oh, because we supposed to be understanding. Oh, but the streets ain't understanding. The streets is being 100. If you fake, you fake. That's it. If you thorough, you thorough. Why can't spirituality be like that? Huh? Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. If you are a rapper rapping in secular music and you say you're a Christian, you're not a, you might believe in Jesus Christ, but you're not a Christian by lifestyle. You don't live the lifestyle of a Christian. And I'm not going to give you the luxury of saying you're a Christian or projecting yourself as a Christian by lifestyle when you're not living the lifestyle. If you getting the heck of wasted all the time, you getting wasted. You ain't even getting drunk. You getting wasted. I can't say you getting wasted all the time. All I know is the music you putting out is not Christian music. And we ain't never really seen you put out Christian music. All we seen you do is compare yourself to Jesus. That's a 7. That's all we seen him do. Jesus, the whole album named Jesus. That's to say Jesus, Jesus. The 2013 album that came out in 2013 was called Jesus. I bought that album at the time. That was called Jesus, as to say Jesus. You're not Jesus, bro. Nowhere near it, never will be, probably. Well, none of us will never be, technically speaking, comparable. But man, you're not even Christ-like. That's what Christian means, Christ-like. Listen, man. Going into 2023, I ain't giving nobody. I'm not like the rest of the people that down. Just I could do that. I could easily just wipe them all down, man. Wipe all these celebrities that you love down. It's too easy. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is I'm picking the ones out that talk about they Christians. Yeah, I could easily just wipe them all out because they're not living right. Anybody can do that. You wasting your time. For people that make videos that doing that, I mean, who don't see that? If you're a Christian that don't see that, what does that say about you as a Christian? They should what? Somebody got to make you a video to show you all the people that's not Christians. Or, that's not professed in God, that's not professed in Christianity already anyway. Obviously through their lifestyle, obviously through the stuff they wear, obviously through the stuff they say. You don't need nobody to point that out to you. I'm talking about the ones that's deceiving everybody talking about they're Christians. Listen, man. Listen. What they may have not told you in America, because you here in America, in order to be a Christian, you have to have a lifestyle that matches with your belief in Jesus Christ. You can't just believe in him. You have to have a lifestyle, a life practices that you practice all your life. You can't be out here making music about threesomes and all kind of stuff and putting out messages about anal sex and everything. And kids are getting that. You can't be doing that, bruh. And then say you're a Christian. You believe in Jesus Christ. Yes, you do. You may do. But you're not a Christian, which means to be Christ-like. How are you Christ-like? How are you Christ-like? How are you like Jesus, in other words? Christian means a person that's like Jesus. How are you like Jesus, bruh? Make him, how? How? Because you put a crown of thorns on your head? Man, come on, man. Come on, bruh. Come on, man. We got to have a lifestyle with this, man. Listen, man, the streets go hard too. Anytime somebody is a wankster out here, anytime somebody is lame out here in the streets, anytime somebody faking it, they get their card pulled, bro. Why can't we pull cards over here? Oh, because we're nice. We're supposed to be nice. We're supposed to be nice about it. That's not biblical. That's not biblical. I can show you, man, where we're supposed to rebuke and expose, all the stuff that's not real. You know what I'm saying? But you're PC, you're politically correct community. Well, that's where it's not being nice with with correcting someone's Christianity. Ah. That's what you don't want nobody. Nobody has the right to correct your Christianity in America, do they? So you know what's happening here? They're making everyone more silent and silent and silent. That's not how it's supposed to be, because what happens is you don't find the reality of what is. If you're especially if you're famous and you're projecting yourself as an image and you're saying that's what you are, you have made yourself open to comments by making yourself public, first of all. So there's nobody that's famous that's getting money from the public that cannot have correction from the public. You getting money from the public. You're exposed to the public. So how you gonna be private? Explain it. Make it make sense, bro. See the difference between me and you? I'm not famous. Thank God. I don't want to be famous, especially now these days. These crazy people. Like not in the way you are. I'm not famous like that. And I'm glad I'm not. But when you are, bro, like you can't even be mad at it. And I already know you know that. I know you done had people tell you that over the years. That ain't even new information for a famous person. Your manager's probably been telling you stuff like this. You are subject to the public's opinion. Bottom line. Bottom line. And your fans need to know that. And Beyonce fans need to know that too. If she's famous, she's subject to public opinion. Whether you like it, she's not God. She is subject to public opinion, bro. Some people don't see her the way you do. You're in love with her, you worship her, that's you. Okay? But some people see past that and they're not trying to critique people. They just see her as a person and they're looking at real issues. Why you think somebody's severely trying to down her? They like somebody severely trying to, or is motivated to down her and assassinate her character. It ain't even like that. See, what you have to realize for all the beehive and all these people in the beehive, what you have to realize is when somebody is at the top, they're subject to this. This comes with it. I'm sure Beyonce has been told that. It comes with the territory. If you're on top, how you think nobody is gonna say nothing? Like who? Jesus Christ even went through it. So how you think no one's gonna say nothing? That's not even realistic. That's what the beehive needs to know. You're worshiping Beyonce. You probably want to do all kind of stuff with Beyonce. Look, man, listen, every human being is subject to criticism. That's the first thing you need to understand. And especially when you're at the top. Especially. And she is at the top. So you don't think no criticism is going to come? Nah, bro. You're not realistic. You're not living in the real world. You're living in a world where you in love with Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? If you had it your way, you'd probably be married to it, wouldn't you? And that includes the girls too. Hey, I bet she asked, hey, come on now. You know I'm telling the truth. But Beyonce didn't tell you about 44 states with child marriage now, did you? Did she? Now look. You will say that's not her job. That's not what she's supposed to do. So she can't be multitasked. She can't be a multitask person. She can't be educated. When she's all in the culture and everything, she can't find out information about this and do a tweet about it to her fans. She can't educate herself on this situation. As a woman, as a female, she can't. She can never do this. She has never done this, so that means she can never do this. But she's at the top, and that's what I'm saying. When you're at the top, unfortunately, you kind of have to be like a teacher. You have to be. You have to teach people. You have responsibility because God starts holding people responsible when you're at the top because you're teaching people something indirectly anyway. So she couldn't learn about 44 states with child marriage. And that's your queen. Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. Same thing with Jay-Z. That's what I'm saying. This is the revolution, guys. And unfortunately, those who are on top in America, I don't know. They can get with the revolution. They're going to be with the American people that fall. And that's for the whole top. That's not. Well, I'm not specific when I say that. That's in general to the top of the community. If you're at the top of America and you don't make the transition with this revolution, I don't know what you're going to do. Because listen, 44 states with child marriage, this has to come down. It has to, man. That's all that has. Listen, that's all that needed to happen. Jay-Z, he sits up, and he acts like he's teaching these deep messages through his music. He's like acting like he's teaching these deep. He has these deep apocalyptic, almost apocalyptic messages in his music. But we don't really, but he doesn't say nothing about what's presently happening. 44 states with child marriage. We ain't never heard him say nothing to the effect about that. Is it hard, again, guys, is it hard for these celebrities to be multitasked? Are they one-track minded? They can only make music? Some people say Michael Jackson was one-track minded. He only thought about music. That's all they're thinking about is music. So that's not all they're thinking about. So why can't Jay-Z, he got education on everything else? How come he ain't telling you and he at the top and he's supposed to be one of your top teachers? Why can't he tell you about 44 states with child marriage? Why can't he tell you about that? So I addressed them as a couple just in case. So you don't think I'm just picking on a woman. And you think, because some people are like that. You think it's something, you think it's you have ADD where you have attention deficit. You didn't hear what I said. You thinking about something else. So I had to address Jay-Z. So you see that I'm not picking on particularly Beyonce. I'm showing you that it could be anybody. It could be anybody. If they were on top, I would be addressing them. That's why they're coming up out of my mouth. Now, I don't know for the next man. The next man, I don't know. Maybe they were former Beyonce fans or former Jay-Z fans. I don't know. Beef with, with Rockefeller, who knows? I don't know, something like that. I'm not one of those guys. It's just whoever I see on top. Like it could be, and it would be anybody, and it can be anybody. You know what I'm saying? All the rest of the people that's on top, all your top comedians. We ain't never hear Eddie Murphy. We ain't never hear him say nothing about 44 states with child marriage. We ain't never heard we don't see Kevin Hart running around all the time. We don't hear him talking about it. Oprah Winfrey, she's act like she's the queen of philosophy these days. She's the queen of philosophy. Meanwhile, we ain't heard her say nothing about child marriage, have we? Have we? I'm trying to show you your whole culture is oblivious to this. That's what I'm trying to show you. That's what I'm trying to show you, bruh. No one's saying anything. But meanwhile, this is the punchline. Meanwhile, most of the culture is witch hunting who they think are pedophiles, are disgusted with, are they showing disgust for who they think are pedophiles? Are they appalled by pedophilia? But meanwhile, they are uneducated. Angela Bassett, she's another one. She sits up like the queen, the black queen of Hollywood. And you can get mad all you want, America. But I'm holding the top responsible because you're not going to do that now, are you? You're too much of a fan to hold human beings that are just like us, got organs like we got. You're not going to hold them responsible. So it's going to take somebody like me. Angela Bassett, she got roles as a now a cop in the 911 show. I don't see how you can be a police officer in a show with 44 states with child marriage these days. See, by now, leaders in your country should be more sophisticated. By now, it should be more responsibility expected of them. This is not the 80s. This is not 1960, where you ain't have a voice. That's a 7. It ain't 1960 where you ain't have a voice. You got a voice now. People listen to you. In fact, black culture is more on top now. So you can't talk to the culture. You can't talk to the American culture with black culture on top of it. Okay, that's a 7. Oprah Winfrey hasn't said anything. Angela Bassett hasn't said anything. She's running around and jumping over hurdles as a cop now in this new show. And she ain't said nothing about 44 states with child marriage. You see how they got it going? And the whole cop phenomenon is nothing more to me than America's attempt to preserve the image of American cops. That's all that's about. Queen Latifah, bless, the thing is, she's not I'm not saying she's a bad person per se. And I'm not saying the rest of them are bad people. But, with much given, as much as required, we haven't heard her say anything about 44 states with child marriage. And I'm just being honest, guys. We haven't heard it. We have not heard it. And I could go on and on and on. Chris Rock, the comedian, we ain't heard him say nothing about it. Oh, and who else? Who else? What are all these other advocates? I like Kendrick Lamar too, but Kendrick Lamar has, and I don't want him to give up on life. But, he's talked about everything, but he ain't, we ain't heard him say nothing about 44 states with child marriage. See, this is so big of an issue because American culture has projected itself like as if they all child protectors. That's how it is now. Come on now. Am I tripping or is it me? Okay. It's like that's how it is and it's not how it is. And now we know. So now that we know that nobody has been saying anything, now we got that out the way. Can you stop acting like I'm some activist overnight? Some con guy fresh off the streets trying to come up? That's how they paint me. Like I'm some musty guy out the summer sweat, out the summer heat trying to come up. Yeah, like, come on, man. Come on. In fact, I've been doing this for a while now. I've been telling you about the ages of consent for some time now. Long as you know it's over a year, to me, that's credibility to me. Now, going through ups and downs, and we can talk about careers of suffering and persecutions of being a whistleblower. I tell people I'm not a whistleblower. I whistle the truth. But we could talk about people that go through years of persecution for being a whistleblower and all of that, and you could compare me to that. But But in this situation, I'm not going that route. This is finna be a quick thing because this is the revolution. That's the difference. They told you most of these whistleblowers have come and gone. Where are they now? You could do a video. Where are they now? On half of the whistleblowers. You could do one on Alex Jones. Where is he now? Talking about all that stuff, wasting all that time, and he's another one. You are Alex Jones. You was the biggest potential of whistleblowing in our country, and you missed it totally. You talking about all these politicians being pedophiles and all of this, and you couldn't slow down enough to see the child laws in your country, bro. I mean, you have nothing else to do with your time. You were literally what they call a whistleblower. You had a show called InfoWars, which is short for information wars, but you don't have this information. And it's right there. That's the thing about it, yo. That's the thing. I tell people, I didn't have to go to an underground water cave and bust open pottery to get this scroll of information. and then catch a boat and then get the boat and then take it back to the land. I didn't have to do that. This is right here on the internet. You all can see it. And listen, before you even watch it and look at it, the main thing you need to know is that it really doesn't matter how they do it. Some of the laws may be with consent, but who cares if it's with consent of a parent? Do you care? You care if parents give consent to it? It's the fact, this is how we get past that Jedi mind trick. It's the fact that they allow it to the American government. To the American community. The American community has access to children by the American government. And if you think it's just, it's older children, then why did the last law they passed, July 1st, 2019, says any age of children? So now you see what I'm saying? So can we agree that's official pedophilia? Can we agree on that? If it says any age of children, can we agree on that? It's really starting to get me angry, bro. Because it's like it's insulting my intelligence because you act like you think you know what's going on. Yo, you don't know. You don't know. This law that's new is not 16, 17, where it's kind of understandable for most people, some people, not most. How can you say that on the last law? You can't. You cannot say this on the last law when it says any age of children. And we're not asking how it's done. It's an option to the community, and that's where we got it. Okay, we don't care how it's done. I didn't ask you how it's done. What's the method of it? I didn't ask what the method of it is. How you get this actually done. What's the process of it? It's the fact that you allow it and you allow the American government, the community to do it. 44 states with child marriage. I don't care about the method of how the processing of it. That's how you beat them and you shut them down. Because some people say, it's with the parents involved and all this other process. I don't care. We don't care about processes. Listen, we don't care about that. No, we don't care about it. All I care about is that you have sat down and passed laws. You had the balls to pass laws for people to marry children, bro. First of all, that's the first part. The second part is you allow it to be an option to the American community. That's the problem. You're supposed to have enough integrity and character as politicians to never even think something like this, where you pass a law that any age of children can be married. Any age, bruh. Any age. Man, that's what I'm saying. And now people want to get all quiet and you want to get nonchalant, like, because you know why? Because you're ashamed. You're ashamed. That's what it is. You're ashamed and you gave up. Oh well, we not giving up. Yeah, they shouldn't have started it. You don't start no foolishness you can't end. Now it looks like you can't end it. It looks like you can't end what you started. Because, hey, listen, ain't what you gonna do? What you gonna say about me? I'm not the one doing it, and it's the worst thing going on in this country. It's the worst thing going on in this country. What's worse than this? Like I told you before, any isolated singular pedophile cannot compare to 44 states with child marriage. No, listen, no person, I don't care how horrible the case is, it would never compare to politicians, lawmakers sitting down and passing laws for your children to be married in America. Nothing will compare to that. Nothing will compare to it, bro. They have authority over you. They are the ones that's supposed to lead you into a better situation, lead you in the right direction, lead you to a place of integrity, show you the way of integrity. They're not doing that. And the leadership is not doing that. Kamala Harris, she's a former prosecutor. She's vice president in the White House, living it up, I guess. And she ain't said nothing about it, has she? Okay, how you a former prosecutor, prosecuting people, but you don't get that movement or that talent, that gift doesn't come to the surface at all concerning this, huh? Joe Biden been in politics for 1 million years. He's been in politics longer than Kamala Harris. He's been in politics. He's been running for office since '88. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? Boom. Joe Biden been trying to be a president since 1988. Oh, go look it up. Since I was 7 years old, Joe Biden been running for trying to be a president. That's a 7 hour. Hey, Joe Biden been trying to be a president since Michael Jackson had a Jerry curl, man. And he finally got it, didn't he? He just got it. Didn't he just get it last year? He been trying to be a president since Michael Jackson had a curl, man. Wow. What that tells you right there. He's just an old politician, man. That's all it is, man. And I do not listen to old American politicians. Not anymore. I listen to Fred. I might listen to a young one, but I ain't listen to no old ones because I know too much about what's been going on. So why would I listen to you? When I know when you got 44 states with child marriage, why would I listen to you when you sitting up there smiling at everybody? Same thing with the Clintons. You got Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. They've been in politics forever. They are old. They're people that have been in it for 1 million years too. And the Bushes. The Bushes been in it for 1 million years. None of them told you about nothing about child marriage, did they? Not the Clintons or the Bushes, have they? Okay then. Those two are the oldest families in far as politics. They ain't told you nothing, have they? I got on both sides, didn't I? Democrats and Republicans. Bushes didn't tell you nothing. The Bushes didn't tell you nothing, and the Clintons didn't tell you nothing, did they? Those are some of the oldest families in politics, right? As far as modern time now, you know. So who's the one tripping? That's all I'm saying. Who's the one tripping? See, really, you just been too focused on living your life the way you've been living it and doing what you've been doing, and you just haven't focused on. You haven't focused on politics because you have been told that it produces an argument. Most people say, so if something produces an argument, why would you go and search on it? You probably wouldn't. Okay, most people say, don't argue, don't talk to people about two things, politics and what? Religion. In America, that's American culture. That's an argument. Don't talk about politics or religion. You should have knew better. You know better than that. That's what most people will say. And what am I talking to you about? Spirituality in politics. And I don't care about your arguments. Because if you had been known about this, we wouldn't be in this situation now, would we? We would have been started a revolution. Listen, it's not gonna work talking about black issues, talking about white issues, talking about American issues. It's not gonna, man, some people just don't care. Then what you gonna say about that? But everybody cares about this child situation. I mean, whether you like children or not, you could be the pedophile, even the pedophile. Pedophiles say, well, hey, shoot, this is the revolution. Why should I? How they gonna get on me when they got 44 states with child marriage? How they gonna lock me up? Everybody's interested in it, even the pedophile. The pedophile listen like, yeah, go ahead and tell that, bro. Yeah, how they lock me up? That, hey, yeah, they locked me up back in the 80s. And here they are messing with children the whole time. I feel perfectly normal now. I feel perfectly normal here. You got 44 states with child marriage and you locked me up in the 80s. That's what I'm saying. You know, then you got the military. Listen, they walk around like we're honorable. Well, let me shut your tugboat down right now. Let me show you how I'm gonna shut your tugboat down right now. On your tugboat, you got the age of consent at 16. When somebody joins the military, they have access anywhere to 16-year-old men, boys, or girls. 16-year-old boys or girls have the genitals of children. Did you know that? That's a child's vagina and a child's penis. So the American military is allowing their servicemen access to 16-year-old genitals. Hey, I'm gonna put it just like how it is and need to be said, because you got stick figures in your mind and I don't. When I tell you this, you got stick figures in your mind. I don't have stick figures in my mind. I have 3D processing of this, reality of this, details. The details have got to be, it's graphic. It's automatically going to be graphic. It's automatically going to be graphic. But you got to address them. You got to see it for what it is. And that's the only way you're going to see it different. That's the only way you're going to bring about the change that we need. If you sit up and just, oh, well, you know, I wouldn't do that. And you just dismiss it at that. And you just say, well, you know, that is kind of bad. No, you need to think about the reality that it's a 16-year-old child with a 16-year-old vagina. If it's a boy, a 16-year-old penis, right? That's what you need to think about. You need to think about that part. That's what you need to think about. Because you got stick figures in your mind like something's wrong with you, right? And the American military, under the UCMJ program, which is the Uniform Code of Military Justice, allows their servicemen to interact with 16-year-old boys or girls because the age of consent in the military through the UCMJ is 16 years old. And like I've told you before, that means they're doing worse than New York. New York, the age of consent is 17. That's bad too. That's not an adult vagina. You're having sex with a child vagina. Maybe some of y'all get off on that. Us fully grown men who are well able to handle a fully grown woman, we don't find that humorous. You know, it makes you wonder what kind of man does. I don't find that humorous. I'm able to handle a fully grown woman very well too, sexually speaking. I have no problem handling a fully grown woman. I've done it more than one time. And I'm not saying that in the sense of fornication. I'm not trying to say it in the sense of that. I'm just being 100. I have no problem with being with a fully grown woman. You know what I'm saying? So anybody finds this as a little get off or something, you're a different type of man than me. You're a different type of man than a real man. I don't find nothing humorous about it. So to me, because most men have what a standard in their mind. Real cowboys. I'm talking about real ninjas, real cowboys, real soldiers, real men who live by real honor codes. We have something in our minds, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. For you fake men, you boys out there, you girls out there, and I'm not pointing anybody out, but for all the boys and girls of the world who project themselves as men and women, let me tell you what real men and women have in their minds. We have this code. The code is, if you're not 18, I'm not having sex with you. That's it. Bottom line. Bottom line. That's the code. And if you don't have that, how can you project yourself as a man or a woman? You're not looking for a man. You're not looking for a woman. You're looking for someone that's underage to get off with. A fully grown man does not have that problem. That does not have that hang up. Now, if you've done some stuff as a child with children, hey, that's between you and God. And I'm not saying anything other than that. But if but you grew up and now you with fully grown women or men, right? Bottom line, right? Because we could talk about that too. If people want to talk about what children do and all of this, we could talk about all of that. Because if you go Google incest in the Bible, where it shows you Jacob married his cousin. Rachel was his cousin. That goes for all the people who don't know no better. That goes for all the people that don't know no better. It's all throughout the Bible. It's all throughout the Bible. People marrying their cousins. Okay? While you esteeming other people as weirdos and evil legends. Okay? But real men have a code that you got to be 18, and here's my bigger code. Here's my more thorough code. Not only do you got to be 18, it has to be after your 18th birthday. Because I don't know when you was born. You wasn't born at midnight on your birthday. And some men do that. They almost get there, but they fail because you have sex with her at midnight. Well, it's at midnight, you're 18. Like it's Christmas. No, Christmas is at 18. No, at midnight. Christmas is at midnight. She didn't turn 18 at midnight, bro, and you know that. Okay? She probably would have told you that. That probably would have been something that you would have known, that she would have been aware of, and that therefore you would have known. Okay, so she wasn't born at midnight, which means she was born some way on her birthday, whatever date that was. She was born at some point throughout that day, a date that you might not know, you might know, you might not know. But if you don't wait to after that date, that hour, and that minute, and that second, then she's still 17, technically speaking. So what I do, I would cover that by saying, hey, after your birthday, then yeah. That's the honor codes. That's the honor codes so that you know it. You heard what I said? That's the honor codes. After the birthday, big baby. After your 18th birthday, the next day, we know now you were born at some point on that day, so that's covered. Now it's midnight of the next day. Now you can do the midnight thing there. The day after the birthday. Because on that birthday, some hour throughout that day, she was born. So you don't have to wreck your brain about it. You don't have to split hairs about it at some point. Okay, that's a real man's code. And ain't no way, and a pedophile ain't gonna sit up and tell you nothing like that. In fact, half of these Americans ain't gonna sit up and tell you something like that. They'll do it on the 18th birthday. No matter what time of day or not, if it's your 18th birthday, They busting it open. And listen, that's still 17. That's still 17, technically speaking. Now, how many American men have actually done that? That's what I'm saying. So who's more thorough, me or them? At the end of the day, because listen, it's technically at a certain point when she was born. So why can't you just wait the next day? And how many men have not waited the next day? Man, as soon as she 18, they busting it open. 18th birthday, they busting it open, bruh. Not that she 18, the 18th day, the day she turned 18, whatever day, any time of day, they busting it open, bruh. That's what I'm saying. And you almost got there, but you're not as thorough as a man like me. Now that's what I'm saying.